Hello, Just2Good here, and welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of the Just2podcast, the podcast where it's just two of us, where we talk about Lego and have a good time. Today, we have an absolute idol of mine, friggin' JANGBRiCKS. What's up? What's up?
Freaking JANGBRiCKS. That's going to be my new title. Yes, I like that.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, so tell us, just in case anybody listening doesn't know who you are, what do you do on the Lego community?
Yeah, what do I do on? I do on the Lego community videos.
Oh, dude. Yes.
Take that.
Me grammar bad. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also nervous as heck.
So it's all good. It's all good. Hey, we're off to a good start. This is quality entertainment here.
It's perfect.
So yeah, I'm old, and I liked Lego as a kid. I did not have much of it at the time, but did the usual thing of going into dark ages. And came back to it as an adult, actually twice. So I came back once right around the turn of the millennium for a short time, ended up getting into another hobby as well at the same time, stuck with that one, left Lego, and then came back to Lego around 2009, 2010-ish, and started doing large action figure stuff, so Bionicle MOCs especially, and Hero Factory. I actually started my main YouTube channel doing Hero Factory set reviews when they first came out. It was around 2010, if I recall correctly, and basically just stayed in the large action figure world for 3 years, and eventually said, you know what, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this brick built thing, and then I do reviews and custom stuff. I have a Lego City. I have a builds channel. It's like just real-time build. I've got a speed build channel, so kind of shift things around a bit.
Of course. So with the Hero Factory stuff and the Bionicle stuff that brought you in, so when you were younger, you didn't have like Bionicle and stuff like that, right? So
no.
What brought you in with those specifically? Because a lot of people don't like them, but I like them a lot. But
So a lot of people who don't like them are gonna like this story. I specifically started with this guy right here. So I was working at PayPal as a senior user experience designer, and I was involved in a push to get standards going, where a button will look the same no matter where a person is on the PayPal website. That was something that hadn't been done. We were kind of fractured internally with different groups and different silos of people doing different visual designs and stuff. And I'm like, hey, look at it this way. I put together a presentation to give to the entire design organization over there. It's like 100 people or so. And I wanted to not make it just another boring, run-of-the-mill PowerPoint presentation, just the typical corporate stuff that everybody makes fun of that is so unfortunately real. I didn't want to do that. So I centered my presentation, my entire concept around the idea of Lego. And sadly, at the time, I called it Legos.
Oh, you committed a sin. Oh my gosh.
I did right from the start. It was so bad. But hey, I can't undo the past. But here's what I did. Yeah. So it's like standards, right? You build with building blocks, and Lego, here are the reasons why we want to build with compatible building blocks. And then I bought some Connects. I bought some like Mega Blocks, whatever their magnetic system was that wasn't brick based at all. I bought a bunch of different stuff, including this guy right here, as examples of systems that don't work together. So this was literally my example of, even within a given brand, coming up with a completely different system that is not compatible with your main one. So this was a bad guy in that presentation.
Wow. Oh my.
But what happened afterwards was that I put this guy up on top of my cubicle at work, and I would just look at it sometimes. And I realized this looks really cool, actually. Like I took an unironic liking to it. And then I decided to pick up just a couple more to see how this whole ball and socket system could work. And that's how it all began. Within a year, I was buying like $300 lots of an entire childhood worth of used Bionicle stuff off of eBay and stuff. And that is how it began, with Bionicle as the bad guy.
That's okay. Wow. What a journey. Well, there you go. I didn't know that. I mean, you probably said it in other parts, but I did not know that. That's a great story. So what would you rate your content as in terms of like an audience? Like, is it for everybody? Is it for adults? Is it for, just for people who don't know your channel and want to get familiar with it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely viewable by everybody. I do very family friendly stuff. I keep the language down, and I basically talk to everybody. But I definitely skew towards a more mature audience. I speak as an adult, as if speaking just to peers. I don't try to put anybody off. I don't try to segment anything off. But I do tend to skew more towards teens and especially adults.
Yeah, I understand. Same here. And well, now going to Lego questions. Is there any Lego set that you want so much that you don't own?
Yeah, so a couple that immediately come to mind are the first space monorail set. The full,
I thought you had that
one. Which no, I do not. I have the second one, which was not so good. I've not actually fully put that together, but the first one was the one, and then the airport shuttle set, which I actually received as a gift recently. The airport shuttle monorail train itself. So that was incredibly special. It's not the whole set, but that I consider that to be fulfilled. But one that will probably stay on my want list for many years to come. I just cannot bring myself to purchase it on BrickLink because objectively it's not great, but in my mind, and going back to my childhood and looking at those little miniature catalogs that would come with the sets, which is where I got most of my love for Lego from, was just looking at those little scenes and the advertisements. Main Street, the original Legoland town, Main Street. Yeah.
Didn't they do a Legends re-release of it? I think they did a
re-release.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still like impossible to get. It's like how much probably now, like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000?
Probably in that range, yeah.
But I like how you said the catalogs, looking at the catalogs, because like when I was young, I didn't have much Lego sets too, and I would get a lot of enjoyment just looking through those shop at home catalogs and being like, I want this, I want that, I want this.
Yeah.
And that later evolved to like going on BrickSet, and then like I started to be able to afford more of that stuff thanks to this YouTube channel. Exactly. So it all worked out.
Exactly. Yeah.
But one thing you said was that with the second space monorail, what was not so great about it compared to the first one?
I mean, it's just I think Unitron is the theme that it's from, and forgive me if I got that wrong, but it's just it doesn't have the iconic look. It's just not as memorable. Doesn't have as much of the feeling of the soul. I mean, it did have good mechanisms and it had plenty of track and everything. It worked well, but I don't know, just not as loved, I think, by the community in general. And I fall right into that.
And did you ever think about getting that BrickLink Skyliner set? I believe it was from 2019. It's like it's kind of like, I think it's called Skyliner. I don't know. It's like a monorail basically. Let me see if I could send it.
Is that the one that's on the coaster track?
Yeah.
I saw that. I haven't really been interested in getting the BrickLink designer program sets. They just, to me, they don't really count as official Lego sets, and I've not gone into reviewing like mocks and stuff from other people.
No, yeah, I got you. I got them. I kind of put them off like that before, but then I got into them recently because like I discovered like they have exclusive elements, and yeah, I actually really like how they came out, but I haven't been able to build all of them yet, but yeah. Anyways, though, what are your thoughts on each of the 4 Lego movies? So like the main theatrical ones.
Yeah, I mean the first one, obviously. I mean, what more can be said about it that hasn't been said that is positive? I mean that just it did such a great thing for the world, and bringing in normalizing Lego as a hobby for people of all ages. It was fun entertainment, right? It introduced great characters. It brought us some really nice sets, some really nice pieces as well. Yeah, it was pretty flippin' awesome, I think.
Batman movie.
Personally, for me, the Lego Batman movie, I don't know. I really enjoyed Will Arnett. Is that his name? Will Arnett.
Yeah, Will
I'm
Arnett.
horrible with names, but I enjoyed his performance a lot, right? And some parts of it wasn't consistent in its tone and its speed, and I liked the parts of it that were really fun and engaging and either humorous or full of action, but some of the more serious story part of it with the Joker and everything, it didn't connect with me.
I feel you with that one.
Okay.
With that one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Ninjago movie.
Yeah, Ninjago movie I enjoyed a lot. I know that it has gotten some, a fair amount of hate from the core. Yeah, from the core. The core community has given it a lot of hate, but I personally, I just thought it was visually stunning. It had a nice flow to it. Yeah, it did change the looks of the characters. Even down into the main line. That's probably one of the most controversial things about it. But yeah, for me, just visually, every scene and every setting just was memorable to me. I went out and bought the making of or behind the scenes book, and just to look at those individuals' captures of how they did the backgrounds, even though they didn't do everything in Lego style in the background and everything. It worked really well for me.
Yeah, the backgrounds to me. Oh yeah.
Sorry, I gotta do this. And it canonized the correct pronunciation of Ninjago. Thank you, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, you would always say that, and I was like, is that the right way? And then it's like, okay, there we go. But yeah, with that one, the backgrounds, that didn't work for me. Like, the worst part for me was like how it wasn't all made out of Lego, but that's cool that it connected with you. But that making of book, I really wish they would have made one for the Lego movie too, because that was the only one I know they made one for Batman and Ninjago, but then they stopped making them.
Yeah.
I really like looking at those because I own the Ninjago one and the Batman one.
Yeah.
But Lego Movie 2.
Yeah, like it could not hold up to the standard of the first one, So it was kind of guaranteed to not be that good, but it fell flat. I liked a lot of the individual elements. I liked a lot of the parts that came out of it. It was entertaining, but I don't know, I felt like I went into the theater expecting to come out feeling the same way that I did after watching the first one, and I didn't. It wasn't as emotional. It wasn't as joyful to me.
That's with the joyful part. I see that. Yeah, it connected more with me. Like, that might be my second favorite out of all of them, but that's interesting.
Okay.
But like, I connected with like the sibling part of that, like, because I have a brother and stuff like that. But yeah, interesting stuff there. Do you have wait, sorry. What is one license that Lego gave us that you were the most hyped for?
License they gave us?
Yeah.
Not
a license guy.
No, I'm not that into, because I don't get into brand hype that much. Honestly, I'd say probably Speed Champions, even though it's not. It's a collection of licenses.
Oh yeah. I would say that.
But just as a car guy, I think that's been the biggest one for me. I mean, I remember when their first license, Star Wars hit shelves, I was in the camp. I was in the AFOL camp at that time, even though I wasn't really into Lego just yet at that time. I was in the camp of all the folks who were like, license? No, Lego's about creativity. We shouldn't be doing this. Come on, there's enough Star Wars merchandise out there. Lego, what are you doing? You've sold out. I was against it, man. I was resistant to change. I was too old by then already. I couldn't handle it. But fortunately, I changed my mind on that rapidly and correctly. But yeah.
So was it like after the Hero Factory stuff that you got into, like, say, Lego Star Wars, or was there a time in the 2000s you were into Lego?
Yeah. So I as an adult, I first came out of my first Dark Age right around I want to say late '99, around 2000 or so.
Oh,
I got
okay.
Some divers sets and a bunch of regular. Yeah, and I think one or two space sets from the time.
Life on Mars?
I didn't get into that.
Okay, because what space theme was it at the time?
It was one of the more realistic ones, not Launch Control. I think whatever came after Launch Control.
Oh, Spaceport. Right
that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
see. You mean like the town space sets?
Yeah.
I was thinking like a space theme. I was like, oh, Life on Mars. Oof. I grew up on that. But I did not like that. Even as a kid.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah. When did Star Wars win you over into 2000s? Then what wave?
Of Star Wars?
Yeah.
You said that.
If it did. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I really started taking the theme seriously until 2014 or so. I think that's about the time. And then at that time there were still some older sets that were on shelves. So I think I got some stuff going back as far as like 2012 or so. I don't remember the specific ones because since then it's just been a blur of getting all the things and reviewing all the things, but it was mostly just getting sets in my hands and seeing that, wow, this is actually really cool stuff. Previously it was just prejudice.
I see. Yeah. No, I was the same way with Star Wars, where I would receive them as a kid and not like them. And then later on, I got more into them and stuff like that. But I wasn't against licenses. Okay. It was just like it didn't connect with me. But like around 2014 was literally when I started getting into Lego Star Wars, like now. So hey, it works out. Nice. But how about an unlicensed theme that they announced that you were like so hyped for?
I think most recently the Botanicals line.
Okay.
It's not really a specific theme, but it kind of.
I'd call it. Yeah.
Just having studied plant biology as a kid and having done landscaping and stuff, and growing up in an area of having a lot of like forested areas around, the California redwoods, who used to take hikes a lot and stuff. So I have like that connection to the nature stuff, and then combining it in a good way, in an effective way with Lego, I think has been really enjoyable to see, and I hope to see a lot more from that.
Well, what would you like to see the most from that? Oh yeah. Sorry. Actually, wait. Go to yours, and then we'll go bounce back.
I was just gonna throw in elves. I got to share some love with elves because that's not a license, right? I mean, it becomes a license because they created it, but you know what I mean. As an internal IP, elves. I wasn't excited about it when I first heard about it, but when I saw the first sets, I was like, whoa. Okay, they've got something here, that seriousness with some proper fantasy and all the new colors that they introduced with it. That was an awesome theme. One of the best themes, I think, on the whole, that Lego has done as a body of work.
I mean, I loved it when it came out, but I kind of fell off of interest. I wish I would have kept up with interest, though, because looking back, it was so... Like, back then, I love original IPs from Lego, and it's like, I feel like we don't get as much new ones, so I guess back then I was kind of overwhelmed with the stuff we'd get, and I was like... But now it's like, man, if that was out now, I'd buy the heck out of that, But, well.
For sure.
The elf sets are very expensive now too. They've gone up, so at least they're getting some appreciation. Yeah, they're extremely expensive. Like the dragons are like, like the $20 dragon I got is like, $120 now, and then like the bigger ones just keep going up in price. Yeah, so
dang it! Man, just last year I just donated my entire collection of elves dragons to charity.
Well, at least
I hope they resell them or something. I hope they either resold them to turn it into a whole bunch of Lego sets for kids, or that those kids are really enjoying them.
Heck yeah. So with actually the donation stuff, which is great that you do, when do you just donate? Like, there are some sets you keep, say, from elves, right? Or do you just plan on donating all of those? Or like, how do you figure out which sets to donate and which sets to keep?
Yeah, these days, for the most part, because I go through so much, and Lego sets cost so much. I do have to resell pretty much all of the big sets that I get. But when you get to like medium size, you get to under 800 parts. That's when I start to make the distinction between whether I'm just going to keep something for the parts and put them into these these tubs back here, or put them into the donation bin. And anything that's small automatically goes into the donation bin as well.
I see. So you don't even keep like the minifigures from there? Because I thought you kept like minifigures and stuff like that. Or you just donate the whole thing?
The whole thing, yeah.
That's awesome.
With the instructions, so they can still use them.
That's great. Yeah, I only ever donate like sealed sets, but with reselling, interesting that you resell. Because for some reason in my mind, I'm like I can't sell a Lego set, but I got to get over that stigma. Maybe one day I got to sell some of my stuff because I have way too many. But
yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like you live in a hoarder's place, but if you have not been selling stuff, I can only imagine how much. It's just I can't do it, man. I gotta have space to be able to walk around and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, I might start selling my Lego. We'll see what the future holds.
Hey, whatever works for you. Just for me, one of the things kind of behind the scenes, that people never see is the stress of managing the stuff, and having places to put it and deciding what to keep and what not. And nowadays, we've got the whole rarity of Lego and how quickly it appreciates in value that it has to, just from a practical perspective, factor into that. Like, if I turn this into parts, yes, I will be able to use some of those pieces for some mocks in the future, but if I keep it together, then a couple years from now I'll get all my money back and more. And I kind of hate that is a factor at all, but it really is.
It is what it is. Yeah. No, that's interesting insight. So which existing theme would you want a collectible minifigure series for?
Huh. I mean, obviously you can say Star Wars, but that's not going to happen thanks to Hasbro. Yeah.
So you want a Star Wars one? Like, because to me, like, Star Wars gets enough stuff. Like, I'm like, okay, fair.
Yeah, I mean, so many people like the characters, and so many people think of how many people buy sets just for the minifigs. Yeah, I would love it if people didn't have to do that. If you didn't have to spend $100 to get one figure, just put the stuff out there that people want to buy and let them buy it.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, that's actually a great way to put it. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
So Star Wars.
Other than that, I mean, yeah, that would definitely be the number one pick because it would make the most people happy. It would make me happy as well. To be able to have that, to have the coolest characters and be able to set up just little displays of the people. Because I was for a brief time I was a Kenner and Hasbro normal sized figure collector of Star Wars stuff. Just when the prequels first started coming out, I had a collection of like 250 of the original 3 3/4 inch figures and 3 1/4. Oh, my brain is not working with the numbers. The regular ones.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so to be able to do that in small scale would be really cool, I think. Without spending $100.
Of course. That's the thing. I feel like if we got them, they wouldn't even put super interesting figures because they would save those for the sets. But I guess that's more like realistic. I don't know. But that's a great way to put it. Yeah. What made you stop collecting those figures though?
Those, I think it was a space thing again, because it just, yeah, it definitely became a space thing, because I was able to make space for the stuff that I personally was most interested in collecting, which was all the originals, the true classics, and then I got into Power of the Force 1 and 2, which was from 95 and 97. I got most of those as well, and a bunch of the vehicles, and I had two big walkers and little walkers. I had my little Hoth area. I had a little bit of expanded universe stuff. I had Dash Rendar's ship and a little made up setup with him teaming up with Han Solo against awesome. IG-88 and Boba Fett, in an ambush and stuff. But once Phantom Menace came out, they did the first wave of figures, and then they just kept going, and they just kept adding. They just kept throwing more product at the market and oversaturated it to a ridiculous extent, and all the different repackaging of the same thing, and just slight changes of coloration and stuff, and it felt like a game that wasn't fun to me anymore. It wasn't like you collect them all. It's you collect them, and then you collect the variations, and then you collect the variations of the special editions, and it went too far. I think they've gone too far this time.
Did you have like any super rare figures of the Star Wars stuff?
I didn't have any of the super rare, but I mean, I did have good condition versions of the original figures with lightsabers, with not the double telescoping, just the single telescoping, but with the whole thing there, in good condition. So I was happy enough with that.
And you talk about the oversaturation in this Hasbro and Kenner. Do you see this with Lego?
There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential for it, especially with re-releases of things, and oversaturation of city helicopters. Come on. Totally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I get it, right? I understand that they're not doing that for the collector market. They're not doing that to get people to buy more stuff. They're just doing that to keep the product that they have on shelves fresh. So, okay, city sets, police stuff, fire stuff, helicopters, they do sell, right? A lot of kids, the core market for Lego, they do enjoy that stuff. So rather than just keeping the same police helicopter on the shelf for 10 years, they'll change it every 2 years or so instead. So to us, as folks who are more like collectors, and especially as reviewers, we just keep seeing more and more and more stuff, and then our viewers keep seeing us showing, hey, this is what Lego has now, here's the latest thing from Lego, and great, it's another police helicopter. But I get that view. I feel that very much building the things and reviewing them, but I understand where they're coming from, and it doesn't feel like they're doing it the same way that that a Hasbro did that turned me off to it. Not yet. There's a lot of potential. I'm
like, what is there any signs of like recent signs like that you're like, oh gosh, like this might actually be happening beyond, say, police helicopters? I mean, even if that's not really a sign, because you've got a great point with the kids, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it could happen again with the Star Wars stuff from Lego. I mean, I find it rather odd what they've done with the Slave ones. Like, they could just give us a nice Slave one of a decent size, which they did. For instance, the one that came on the MBS Cloud City. Like, that was a beautiful scale, and it gave you the full shape. You could put a couple figures in there, and you're good with it. If they had just released that as a set, that would have been perfect. But they've got that one embedded in there. They did the UCS one, which they then discontinued just before it showed back up in the Mandalorian, right? And they've done another, like a medium size
20th anniversary
figure
one.
scale. Yeah, and then I think don't they have another one in the pipeline now as well? I think I heard.
I don't know. I think it's hard to keep up with these rumors, but yeah.
Yeah, so there definitely could become oversaturation, as the sequel trilogy stuff is all gone, is all history now.
It's like, do you think they'll make more of that sequel trilogy stuff? Like, I don't see.
I hope not.
Like
leave the past behind. Kill it if you have to. You know. Seriously.
Yeah. It's funny though. Like, I didn't even think about it. They totally moved on from that. Like now they're just doing the original trilogy and prequel, and then
that's the thing. It feels like they're dipping back into what worked really well before, but you have to do that with care, because if you just dip back into original trilogy and then start redoing original trilogy stuff, and we start getting another different X-wing. Okay, it's original trilogy now. It's not, it's not sequel trilogy.
Wouldn't they do that this year with the X-wing? They did that this year with the X-wing, right?
Yeah, and just keep that. I'm looking at it right now. It's on the shelf right over. Keep that. That is perfect. Perfect scale. We don't need to have a Dagobah version of that next year. Like wait a little while. Just let that marinate a little bit. Don't give us all the different versions of X-wings. Don't give us more TIE fighters of that same scale. You could give us a TIE bomber. Hello. You could give us another interceptor. That would be okay. Give the EU fans some TIE Defender love, stuff like that. Don't give us another Millennium Falcon yet. Like, please just hold off on the Millennium Falcons.
It's funny. I think that was rumored, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I saw a rumor for that, but maybe I'm wrong.
Like as a more reasonably sized, reasonably priced version, or
I think like original. Well, that's the thing. Good point. It might be like reasonably priced. Like I call them like the affordable prices. I mean, like it could, maybe it is like that, and I don't know if I would mind that. I think that would be actually decent, but like. Yeah, if it was like, I guess like 120, or last one was like 160 or something. Like, I don't know. But with actually, I mean, I know you don't love Harry Potter, but like Harry Potter is kind of doing this. I do like it though, that they have two different versions right now. I mean, like it was revealed, it wasn't even a leak, it was on Amazon, that they have like the Great Hall coming out this summer, but the old Great Hall is going to still be on Lego Shop, and this one has sand green roofs, and it's like a little bit smaller. So it's like interesting.
I saw those.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I don't in isolation, I like the look of the new one, the new little series that they're doing, right? That are interconnectable. I like how they
based off the originals,
fit together. Yeah, I like how they fit together. I like how they look. I like generally the idea of being able to buy additional Lego stuff and use it with your existing stuff, and especially with buildings, we get so little love for structures relative to vehicles and mechs. So I do like the look and concepts of those new sets and how compact they are. I like the sand green roofs and everything. Like it looks pretty, and it looks smart. It looks collectible. It looks playable. All that is good. But yeah, what happens to this whole series that they had going? If you keep adding to it, if you want, get the parts that you want. Now we've got this break. Will they go back to that, or have they just given up on that concept? Is the question.
I feel like this year is just. Like this is not based off any future insight. This is what I think. I feel like this year for the 20th anniversary, they'll do those, and then they'll just go back to it next year, because it seems like it's kind of getting closed off, because they have a lot coming this year, and it's just like those all connect, and it's a tribute to like the originals, how they stacked on top of each other, how they had the green roofs, and so it was
like the legacy version, like the Ninjago legacy version.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, in a way, that's what it seems like, but I could be completely wrong. But so who knows? So you don't see a problem with them having two great halls to buy. So like it seems like the old one is not retiring anytime soon.
No, I do have an issue with that, but I can't hate on the new one either. Like the existing one is great. The new one I like too. Do they need two on the market though? I don't know. I'm torn.
I see. I'm torn. It's such an interesting situation, but I like what they're like. It's something new that they're trying, which freshens things up. I don't know.
How about this? If they were to use the new 2021 system and make that the new system, like abandon the old and just continue, allow you to build out all of Hogwarts and just extend on from that with the smaller scale, but still minifig compatible. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Good question. I don't know. I would kind of I think this one is cool for what it is, but personally bias, I would want that to continue just because my old one kind of got wrecked when I transported it from. Last time I did a display was at my parents' house, and then I transported it back to my house. So it got wrecked. So I'm going to be displaying that new one from now on. So selfishly, I would want the new one to continue, but I think it would just be better if they have the old one continue, because I think the old one at the end of the day is more detailed, and it fits more with like the other Harry Potter sets outside this year. But who knows? I mean, they have so many new minifigures in those sets too. It's like crazy, just the amount of detail and like lots of collectible stuff. But and you. Am I wrong in that you weren't into Harry Potter, but you got into it more as you reviewed stuff, or have you just never even seen the movies since? Or for research purposes, I went through and watched all the movies in series. I've never touched the books, but I mean, it really was for research purposes for the reviews. I decided to try the theme, just to give it a shot as someone who's not a Potterhead. My wife is a total Potterhead, like has been to so many Potter related things. So she's able to help me, behind the scenes with understanding stuff. But yeah, I gave it a shot, and I definitely liked the sets, especially the modern series. I think is done really well. So many nice small details, and again, more new pieces. We got the candle piece, we got the wand piece. A lot of good stuff they've added. But since some of the J.K. Rowling controversy and issues, I've been hit up privately and publicly by a lot of my viewers who were unhappy about that and felt hurt by some of that stuff, and I do agree with some of that. I don't feel that Rowling herself is a horrible person or anything, but there's definitely been some real harm done, and out of respect for the viewers especially who have felt that, I've taken a step back from the theme for now. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that. I was going to ask what you thought, like, which one was your favorite movie, if you had one, of the Harry Potter stuff.
Again, having only watched through the entire series once and only once. I'm not good at names, but help me out. Please help me. Please.
I will help you.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope. The one with the Christmas ball.
Okay, the Yule Ball. Well, okay, there was technically two.
I hated that.
Am I wrong in that?
I hated that. I'm sorry. Hate everything about it. The scenes, the settings, the focus on the crying and the romance, and no, it's not for me. No, please no. I think the first. I think the first one. I think the first one just kind of encompasses the magic the most. I also liked the spin-off Fantastic Beasts.
Oh wow, that's an unpopular opinion. Wow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those, they haven't done sets since on those. But I mean, I guess it's just not. Yeah. We'll see. But because like all of them say Wizarding World, but we only get Harry Potter stuff. Oh well. So, how do you choose which sets you review and which sets you don't?
Yeah. Once upon a time, I was pretty much just going through. If Lego releases it, I will review it.
Same.
And then they passed like 300 sets per, 300 regular box sets, system line sets per year, and I just couldn't keep up anymore. So these days I prioritize stuff that viewers are interested in, stuff that I know viewers will be interested in, and stuff that I personally am interested in. And anything that I am not interested in, unless there's a tremendous demand for me to cover them, I don't even give a second thought to. So anything that's like a fringe thing or anything that in the past I didn't really like myself, but I did just in case people liked it. It's like, nah, just gotta cut.
Yeah, no, I used to do, try to review everything, and now I'm just not even doing. I mean, the viewers might want some, but I just do what I want to review because it's like, nice. I don't know, I haven't been enjoying reviews too much, but like, I love reviewing interesting sets. So whether it be a great set or a bad set, and that's what gets me in there. But I was going to ask,
Nice.
where's the Fabuland reviews? You've never covered Fabuland on your channel. No, you don't like it, do you?
No, so I had Fabuland coverage in those little mini catalogs that I loved as a kid, and
you're right. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I don't connect with that style, the anthropomorphized animal thing. I tried it with Chima. I gave it a good shot. There was definitely some cool stuff that was done in Chima, but Fabuland today, I'm not. I'll have to try it. I will definitely have to try it. And some of the pieces, some of the parts that they made for buildings and interesting roof shapes and stuff. Some of that is really cool stuff. I'll have to give it a fair shot, but I don't want to.
You could. Hey, look, what is it? Your $100 Patreon thing where we could request a set? Am I wrong in that? Am I totally wrong with that?
Ooh, yeah.
I might have to do that.
10. Ooh.
Okay. I might have to do it. I might have to do it.
You could get a big set out of. Oh man, he's gonna force me to do that. Beyond the Brick forced me to do freaking Galador. Now, Just Too Good's gonna make me do Fabuland.
Yes.
You know what?
It must be done.
Between the two, I'll take Fabuland any day. I'm still traumatized. I'm still traumatized by Galador. Come on.
Oh gosh, yeah, I might do that. Like, I might also like. Have you ever got like a Lego SpongeBob set? Like, yeah, I want to get
not a whole set. Not a whole set. No.
Yeah. And I know you said you don't like Toy Story. I'll get you to do some of these themes.
Oh man, you're gonna.
Yeah, why don't you like Toy Story? What's wrong with Toy Story? No, I'm kidding. Like,
there's nothing wrong with Toy Story. It's just
It's your opinion. It doesn't connect with you.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't connect with me.
What's your experience with Toy Story? Like, what? Like, did you see the first one in theaters? Like,
I think I saw the first one in the theater, and it was enjoyable. I felt like it got over merchandised. Like I felt oversaturated by it after the fact, and not leading up to it. But and I enjoyed the movie, but then after that, it felt a little bit too much. And then how many more we've had? Is it 2 since then, or
there's
3?
There's 4 in total. So yeah,
holy
3
heck!
since
Well,
then.
no wonder. Yeah.
Hey, Toy Story 2 is like the best one. I mean, could you at least make it there? Toy Story 2 is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, it's Toy Story 2, and everybody like says Toy Story 2 is the best one. Even not that popular opinion really matters, but check out Toy Story 2 when you can.
I'll give it a shot.
Good.
I'll try.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Add it to the list.
Hey, nice. And what was a Lego theme that you were genuinely surprised how good it turned out?
Elves, definitely. Because like they did teasers for it, right? I think they did a whole teaser campaign before they showed any of the pictures. I think maybe they showed like a face, and then the typeface treatment that they were going to use for the fantasy theme, and maybe a little bit of trees in the back, but they didn't show any of the sets, or any of the major components up front. I thought it was going to go kind of off in the Belleville direction, and I was really, really worried that it was just going to be another Lego failure attempt to do something original in the quote-unquote girl themes, but I was so wrong. That one blew my mind and captured me wholly and completely. That one definitely stands out a lot positively.
I think you did one review from the theme, but like, did you have any liking for the Trolls theme? Because I felt like a lot of the colors that carried there went into Trolls, but the builds weren't on the same level. But what did you think about
exactly.
that one?
I think I reviewed one of them, and then I also got another set and never reviewed it, and then also got the poly bag. I liked some of the pieces. I thought the characters were done okay. I was really disappointed that they did not try to do hair for them, because that was the main thing. I having grown up in the 80s, every single office in the United States had a front desk with a troll, at least one troll there,
really?
with the hair, and it just stuck with me. They need the hair. They're all about the hair. So the fact that they did them as just that big solid piece was a letdown. And I mean, obviously the theme wasn't made for me, obviously, and that's all good. But even at that, I still I didn't find them to be that great.
I see.
Maybe it could have been better.
I see.
If they did them more like elves, it would have been better.
Yeah. I see what you mean. So now we're just going to the non-Lego questions. Okay, what was your favorite film as a child? I gotta get into film. I'm sorry.
My favorite film as a child?
Yes.
Might have been, I want to say, The Last Starfighter.
Interesting. That's not one I hear too much about.
Yeah, I really got drawn into that. Having been around computers and sci-fi from a very early age, that one just kind of encapsulated that idea of that could be real. Like one day I could actually pilot one of these things. It captured my imagination and just took it off in perfect directions for me. Yeah, that one
is that the one where Pee Wee Herman voiced the computer? Or am I wrong in that?
Did he?
I don't think
I've seen it since back then. I saw it.
You gotta rewatch it sometime.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, and then we had it on VHS, and I watched it a number of times on VHS. But yeah, not since the 80s I've seen it.
Interesting. Would you want a set from there?
Sure. Especially the fighters do a little versus. Even if it was just a one-time, ideas sort of thing where it's just one thing one set is the theme. Just nice little versus diorama. Yeah.
Would you ever do like a Lego Ideas set, project? Am I wrong? Have you done one before? I don't think you've done one, right?
I haven't done one. I'm not against it. I have my. If I ever, so I have my issues, and we're not gonna get into that because it's a whole video of its own, or video
I'm
series.
Looking forward to it, but yeah, it's okay.
Issues with the Ideas platform, but if I ever do something through Ideas, it's probably going to be something driven by viewers and viewer desires. Like I would do it for them, not for me.
That's so nice. Yeah. Oh. That's nice of you. Hey. Okay. Well, what are some films you saw recently that you liked?
I don't get to watch movies very much. To be really honest, I don't have the time, man. I have the time.
But you probably watch TV shows, right? Do you watch TV shows?
We watch TV a little bit.
To me, that takes more time. I like movies because they don't take as much time as TV.
True. The thing is, I watch TV with my wife in the evening. Like we have a certain time, that we make sure to spend together, and we eat dinner, and that's that. So that's reserved time. That's always available. So we'll go through various TV shows. Then the most recent movie that I watched was Godzilla vs. Kong. I watched it while working. I think I was doing some work in this very room. That was.
Did you like it?
It was silly. It was very, very silly, especially the actual fight scenes between Kong and Gojira directly. Just the human movements, the stunt man stuff, the WWE stuff that they put into it. It was just like, come on, like make it feel a little bit more natural. I was definitely Team Kong. I'm sorry, no, Team Godzilla. Team Godzilla, 100%.
I'm more of a Kong guy.
I know. I'm technically I'm from the ape line, right? Genetically, but I can't represent. I'm sorry, I can't represent. I've crossed over. I've crossed over.
Yeah, I did not like Kong vs. Godzilla, but I mean, yeah, I like the old Kong movies. But yeah, I never got into old Godzilla movies. Do you like them?
Me either.
No, okay.
I've seen just little bits, So it's more, Godzilla to me is more an idea than actual media,
To me, it's with the movie. Yeah. Oh yeah, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I wish they focused more on them instead of the human stuff. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. I did see the Snyder Cut. I finally finished that. I thought it was just a good movie.
Really?
I haven't liked the DCEU stuff or the I don't want to mince words and get in trouble with all the DC fans too much, but I haven't liked the DC movie stuff since the Dark Knight trilogy. So that Dark Knight trilogy, like Nolan, Nolan Batman, that was good. And since then, it felt like they've fallen off. But Snyder Cut, I felt like it was just so hyped up, and I watched it just to know what it was about, and I just enjoyed it just through and through. Like really? I appreciated the fact that there was enough time to develop characters. Because all the other movies are just chop, chop, chop. Here's a character, you should like this person, chop. Here's a character, you should dislike this person, chop. Action, action, action. Stop. Slow down. People, feelings, chop, action, action. Done. Monologue.
That's a good way to put it.
Wonder Woman 84 ending monologue that goes on for like 10 minutes.
So you did see 84, you saw 84.
Yeah. And that was entertaining except for that ending monologue, but not a great movie, But Snyder Cut, it was just enjoyable action, and as a cinematographic experience, it was cool.
Okay, well, I'm glad you liked it. I didn't love it, but how about the Marvel movies? You fan of the Marvel movies?
Yeah, not a super fan. I don't live for that stuff, but I've thoroughly enjoyed them. I've gone through all of them. Saw most of them in theaters, and can't think of any real dark spots along the way. I especially liked Thor: Dark World. I like when they make fun of themselves more. Yeah.
Oh wait, you mean Thor Ragnarok?
God.
Dark World is it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to
so
judge you
sorry.
for it. No, because I was just it's like Dark World is like
I'm gonna get.
It's not. It's too serious for me.
Destroyed in your comments. All of your viewers are going to have as of the time of them viewing this right now, have already unsubscribed from me. Oh,
there you go.
Ragnarok. Yes.
No, it's totally okay. But yeah, no, Thor Ragnarok I did like a lot. Yeah, for that reason, because I feel like the older ones took themselves too seriously. But yeah. So I mean, do you watch any independent movies or foreign movies? Any that stood out? It's okay if you don't. I just.
Not a lot. And again, I'm so horrible with names. I'm not prepared for these questions. I do apologize. But there was recently a Korean film that was really, really popular.
Parasite.
Yes, we
saw
that. We were a little late to it, but saw that. That was fantastic. And it turned my brain when that was good stuff, and good acting too. Just the straight face.
Those are my types of movies. I love those so much. You gotta watch more from that guy. That guy, the director of that, he did some great movies. Yeah, check out have you seen like Snowpiercer from him? That's one of his more accessible, because it's on Netflix.
I have not seen the movie. We're watching the TV series right now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that is by the same guy. Well, I mean, the TV show, I don't know how much it's based because it's also a graphic novel, but that's inspired by the movie, which was by that guy. Yeah, so but he has some great actual Korean
going
ones,
back before that. I mean, growing up, I was exposed to a lot of Kurosawa films. So
nice.
So Dreams will forever be one of the most impactful movie watching experiences that I've ever been through. And
I gotta check that out.
Oh, you haven't seen Dreams?
Nope.
It's different. It's different.
I love that. Okay, I'm gonna watch that soon. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a series of short stories.
Interesting.
Each done uniquely. Yeah.
Because I've only seen Rashomon from him. Yeah, but that's about it. So I gotta watch more of his stuff. Yeah.
For sure.
There you go. Hey,
man! You haven't seen Seven Samurai?
Nope.
Then you haven't seen Ron? So there are whole entire scenes of The Mandalorian you have not been able to appreciate.
Really? I know, Star Wars takes
you've
a
not
lot
been
of
able
stuff.
to appreciate. Oh, yeah,
Hey, I haven't finished the last 2 episodes of Mandalorian, so maybe I'll watch it by the time I finish this. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. Okay. But yeah, thanks for the recommendations, though. What's a food that you love, and then a food that you can't stand?
I love French fries.
Nice.
Period.
That's it.
Just the end. We're done. Thank you very much for having me.
There you go.
I'm not a fan of bitter stuff. So anything with bitter melon in it, just keep it away. And I mean, if I had to choose one, it's obvious. It's too easy, but durian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people
durian.
Don't like that.
No. I had a lot of Vietnamese friends in college and visiting their apartments and stuff. Just always durian. Why? Just no. No.
Oh my gosh.
Ban it.
I was gonna say, I've always loved, ever since you've done like Lego. I think I saw this before I saw your Lego stuff. I loved your review of Burger King ribs.
Why is that so popular? It's like a cult classic of my history.
It's amazing. Like you captured, and you also captured the Burger King ribs. I'm like a fast food fanatic. Like that. Like the Burger King ribs were one of the worst ideas. You captured it. Like that's legendary. That's such a legendary video. Oh my gosh.
I did it as a joke, but I took it seriously when I did it.
It's so good. It's so good. That's like my favorite video from you. Legit. I love that video. I show that to friends randomly. I'm just like, have you seen did you know Burger King ribs exist? And then I'll just plop your video on TV, like legit. But I was gonna say,
right on.
You don't have to share this if you don't want to, but what is the strangest coincidence that has ever happened to you? Like a glitch in the Matrix or something crazy that's like a coincidence.
Some of the examples, I mean, it's funny you asked me that out of all questions now. Some of the examples that come to mind are things that are, a little bit private that I don't want to share, but I will say this one. Yeah, but this was actually a good one. I don't still have the prop here to show it, and maybe we can take some footage afterwards and you can splice it in. I can show you, but was it yesterday? No, I think day before yesterday I was doing a build stream. I was working on the space shuttle, and for some reason, because I've always got my X-Acto knife on the table, and people see it in different views because I use it for applying stickers very, very carefully.
Yeah.
And somehow the discussion got off into talking about knives, because I also collect pocket knives and stuff.
Yeah.
And then one person in the chat just mentioned, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, and it's probably just a total fringe thing, but I just wanted to share with you that I have a knife experience. This is somebody in the live chat at the time. I have this knife, this like collectible knife that I've had for, I don't know, a couple decades now, and it's got like 5 different blade elements built into it, and it's shaped all weird, and it's all this kind of stuff, and it was called the Griffin. And I just lit up all of my neurons, every single neuron throughout my entire head just lit up. I'm here doing a Lego build stream, and a random person comes in who's a viewer talking about the Griffin. I went on a journey, maybe it was like 6 or 7 years ago, to find that exact knife. Because I remember from back then the TV commercials for the thing. It was like a series of fantasy knives that this one guy had designed, and it was all, just 5 easy payments of $19.99, plus $4.95 shipping and handling, or whatever it was. And I just remember seeing remembered at that time seeing those commercials, but I couldn't remember what the name of the thing was or even how to find it. I eventually did find it. So I have the knife. I found it on eBay. I got a good one. And I also found, for a reasonable price, a very limited edition collectible pin that was given out to salesmen who were going around the country finding distributors for this thing. So here I am in this Lego build stream, and I just jump up. I'm like, I'll be right back. And people in the chat are like, he's got the knife, and I come back with the pin. I come back with the pin. Yeah, I show it real close on the close-up camera. It's like, but do you have this? Like, what? I was not expecting that. What is that? It's so tiny, but that's the knife. And then I just casually just pulled in. Here's the actual knife.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So
awesome.
it connects three different timelines together, two different people, and then through Lego and two different hobbies. And
that's amazing. Happened. No, that is literally amazing.
Yeah, it was very satisfying. Very satisfying.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is a question related to knives. Do you like knives or Lego more?
Dang it. It's like asking me, would I rather drink or eat? That's mean, man. So if the world were to end and I were only able to have Lego or knives, I would have to go with knives for the sake of survival.
Survival, yeah.
You can do stuff with it.
You could throw a Lego set at somebody. I don't know.
I guess and sprinkle them around your campsite. Nobody would ever get in, right? It's a good defense mechanism.
I see.
Not very good for catching game though. Good for keeping rival tribes away. Right? I'm thinking of a post-apocalyptic scene here. Right?
There you go. Do they have like a brick set for knives? Like you could make a knife collection online.
The knife collecting is a pretty big thing. I don't know if there's specifically like something where you can track your own knife collection, because I mean there's so many custom builders and everything, but there are definitely a lot of databases out there and forums and stuff. Yeah,
so you have yours database somewhere?
I do not yet.
How do you keep track of all of it?
I don't. To that exact point, I've got a backlog right now of knives that I've not reviewed. I like to do like the little first take reviews on my main channel. I have such a backlog that just last year I accidentally bought a knife that I already had. It was on my wish list and I had forgotten to take it off, and this looks really familiar. Wait, why does this look so familiar? Oh, it's because it's one that I really, really liked. Wait, no, it's the one that I already have. Great. Fortunately, it was just a run-of-the-mill like production knife. It was like $30 or something like that. So I didn't waste a tremendous amount of money on it, but it was very embarrassing.
I was going to ask, have you ever had a paranormal experience happen to you, whether it be ghosts, aliens? If you believe in that, if not, it's fine too.
Okay.
Have you ever?
I mean, as a kid, I used to have the nightmares that a lot of people make TV shows about these days. The waking nightmares or the sleep paralysis nightmares, where there's like a demon or something. There was one time that has stuck with me. I was a little kid, but it has stuck with me. The experience was so strong that it was because I was sleeping on my back. I can't sleep on my back. I don't breathe right, so that's when I would go into the oxygen deprivation nightmare thing, before waking up. But in this one in particular, I so clearly remember that it was like some humanoid demon thing that was descending from the ceiling down to me, and then I wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to stop it, so I moved my hands like this. I was on my back and I moved my hands like this, and then I woke up. But when I woke up, I still had the feeling of its rib cage through the covers. I could still feel that in my fingers. So I was convinced that there is something. Today I don't believe in ghosts and stuff. I think it's possible. There could be whole dimensions that we don't fully understand. Science doesn't understand everything. We know that, but that experience still sticks with me. And I'll give you one more. From my childhood, a little bit later on. This one is weird. It's very different.
Dude, I want to hear that. I love this stuff. Yeah.
It was Saturday. It was a Saturday night that I had the dream. It was a very specific reason that I remember. It was a Saturday night that I had the dream. I had a dream that my favorite race car driver Dale Earnhardt Sr. was in a race and he got into a crash. It was really bad. It wasn't that one. For folks who are already thinking ahead. It wasn't that one. He got into a crash. His car was destroyed to the point where like you could see the engine and the back of it was just missing. It was so messed up, but he went on to finish the race. That's exactly what happened on that Sunday's race. He got into a crash. His car was destroyed. The entire back of it, the whole trunk section was removed. They cut off the extra sheet metal because it was so bad. All the front sheet metal was torn off and everything, but he finished the race. He didn't do well, obviously, but the exact same thing happened. Now, I don't know if that's was just my young mind playing tricks on me to the point where memories kind of cross to where maybe I had a dream about the race, but then I saw the race itself, after I woke up, and then I kind of crossed those since. But at the time, it felt like as I watched that crash happen live on TV, it was like, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. So
wow, that's
I don't trust that one.
Dude.
I don't trust that one completely. It's kind of sus. But that's what I remember.
There you go. Wow. Thank you for sharing those with me, by the way. All right, we're almost wrapping up. But I got some viewer questions. Okay.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, when you subscribe to the Just Too Good YouTube channel, these question threads will pop up in the feed, or you could just go on the channel feed for upcoming episodes. So this first question is from YouTube user JANGBRiCKS, who asks if we'll ever see the Planetary Defense base from you. He's been waiting for 2 years.
Oh, ouch.
I'm sorry.
No, I deserve that. Yes, JANGBRiCKS. I appreciate your pushing me. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I share it. I share the disappointment that I've not worked on that thing much in recent years. I am sorry. I will complete that thing. It's one of the major projects that I've been looking forward to. As a matter of fact, that area of my city is an extension of my original plan for my very first modern Lego display. Even before I got into Lego YouTubing at all, I was thinking about setting up a gray themed, just semi-realistic sci-fi little Lego, custom Lego display. So that is very important to me, and it will happen yet.
There you go. And the Vibing Bricks ask if you get recognized in public often.
Every once in a while, it happens sometimes. It's funny. I think it happened more frequently back when I was into radio-controlled cars. Maybe because that hobby would kind of bring more people from a given region together into smaller and more confined spaces more regularly. But yeah, it happens every once in a while.
Yeah. It happened to me recently for like the first time since the face reveal. I was like, wow, this is weird.
Okay.
But Forrest Holbrook, well, no, actually, wait, we already answered that one, but shout out to Forrest Holbrook. Sorry, I can't answer your question. Okay, Boost Bast 1 asked, if you can discuss LAN at all, what's your perspective on the Lego Ambassador Network?
Oh, wow. Okay, TLDR. I personally don't have a problem with it. I think that aside from any issues you, Justin, personally have had with it, and I've followed what your journey with it. I understand, but just my own perspective. I think that it gets a lot of heat that it doesn't deserve. A lot of people think that when you get into the LAN, Lego pressures you to only say positive things, pressures you to change your opinions. And I feel like from all that I personally have heard and from all that I know of them, that is not true. I don't feel like the LAN is evil in that sense. However, I have always recognized that it is a company getting into a contract with individuals with a control aspect to it. And I've not wanted to have that drama in my life. personally, is the reason that I've stayed out of it. I've not worried that if I got in, then I wouldn't be able to tell the truth anymore. It's just I have not wanted to have that connection and to cede any level of control or pressure or potential for drama and getting called into conference calls with marketing people about, hey, let's talk to you about this. Like, we don't want you to change what you're saying, but let's just talk to you about this issue.
Yeah, my problems was with that, not really the positive. Like, I don't think people are forced to say positive things, but it got to the point where they were controlling too much, and it's not for me. But I don't like people should make their own decisions if they want to join it or not.
Yes, yes,
that's where it's at. Just like it works for some people, and that's cool.
Absolutely.
Let me see. Pops, Bricks, and Tricks. Pops, Bricks, and Tricks asks 2 questions. If you ever thought about vlogging, and what determines if you'll get a new set? So you answer that latter one. But yeah, have you ever thought about vlogging?
I feel like I've tried it a few times. I mean, I don't know if I've done it. I guess I've done it a little bit, not proper modern day vlogging, but I've kind of tried the concept. I'm not into it. Because I don't like to. I'm not a super extrovert. I don't feel the need to hear my own voice and to project my voice to other people. So I feel like if I have something that's useful to say, then I'll say it, But just to talk and just share that, hey, here's what I'm thinking today. Look, the sun is out, and I see it. So that's my experience. Aren't I cool? And now I'm walking down the street, Aren't I cool? Give me likes. That's how in my mind, that's how I see a lot of vlogging personally. I'm just not into it. It's not
I feel you
not for me.
That. If I want to show something interesting, that's why there's no Just Two vlog channel coming.
Okay, dang it.
The Taco Power 350 asked, "What's your beard routine?" And he also said he grew up with our channels, which is pretty cool. But yeah, what's your beard routine? If you could share it.
I don't think I've ever been asked that, like so specific. Like I get all the, hey, you look like Abraham Lincoln or you look like Wolverine, right? But cool. I'll take the Wolverine one. The Abraham Lincoln one gets a little old. The Wolverine's cool, but my routine, sponsored by Wall. I am a Wall man. WAHL. If you're not familiar with it, Wall makes the best trimmers. I've been using them my entire adult life. I do my own trimming. It's real quick stuff. I also cut my hair with the same machines. Wall, ladies and gentlemen, now available with lithium-ion power. Lasts at least 2 weeks without recharging. Find them at your local retailer or online.
Wait, so you cut your own hair?
Yeah.
How? It looks so good.
Wall. Available at your local retailer.
No, I legit need some shaving tips because my shaver is it's not. I need to get a new one, so I'm legit gonna take this advice. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Okay, Stone 343432333343 asks, "What's the best set you got in 2020?"
Props to you for going through the full list of numbers there.
I think I did it. I might have missed a 3 though. But
yeah. Single best set. You know what? To 2020. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna answer that. You know why? Because 2020 was garbage. Screw 2020. Forget 2020. There was some good things along the way, but it was such a blur of garbage that I don't like to think about 2020 at all.
Sorry.
Offline I can pull up Brickset and look at, sort by year, and I'm sure I would be able to pull out some things that I enjoyed very much. Like for instance the crocodile locomotive. I'll give you that because that was I really enjoyed and was surprised by that one. But seriously, screw 2020. Come
on. Okay. My High Yoda Panda asked, "What's the most nostalgic set you reviewed?"
Awesome.
Great name,
awesome.
Yeah.
Most nostalgic set? What did I have
you
or
reviewed?
Oh, that I've reviewed? Most nostalgic. Probably if you ask me this a week from now, I might change my answer a little bit, because there have been a handful of ones that have hit me in the nostalgia hole. But an objectively good answer to that consistently for the rest of my life will be Public Works Center. I think it was from 1982. I think it was a 2 base plate.
Pop up. Let me search up right now.
It was a 2 base plate set with a 3 bay garage and a little loader and a crane on a slider and a little dump truck.
I'm not familiar with this one.
I had that as a kid. Yeah, I had that as a kid and played with it extensively. So being able to get that awesome. Again as an adult was a major hit in the nostalgia. The nostalgia
that's
organ.
Awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know. Like I love Town, but some Town sets that are like around like early '80s, I'm not familiar with. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. That's cool stuff. I forgot to say those last 3 were from the Reddit thread, which you could also submit your questions on the official Just Too Good subreddit. And then these. Okay, so we have 2 more. Master Builds Portugal asks, "What's your favorite Ninjago season of the TV show?" Because you watch it, right?
Thinking, I'm having to go through. Gosh, there have been so many. Holy heck! I never realized. I mean, you look at now? It's technically kind of 14 if you count the the mini series ones in between. But gosh, it's interesting. I enjoyed the storyline of the. And I don't remember the names particularly offhand right now, but the one with the genie, the djinn.
Skybound?
Skybound, thank you. Yes, I enjoyed how the storyline went for that one. I think as a TV series for entertainment purposes, that one is definitely up there. I'm probably not remembering every series right now. There might be others that would compete with it, but that one felt like a nice journey, a nice story. I wasn't the fan. I wasn't completely a fan of all of the visual design or the graphic design, the styles of some of the objects and the clothing and everything. But as a show, it flowed really nice. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, my mom's starting to get into Ninjago, but I've tried watching Ninjago a few times. I couldn't get into it, but who knows? Maybe I'll give it another chance. And Lego Machine X asked, "What's your favorite childhood song and current song?"
What? What? Okay. Just throwing these curveballs at me. I didn't even see it coming. Favorite childhood. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, it wasn't really a song, but I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventures in the theater. I think maybe even twice, and Tequila Sunrise, just because of his little dance routine that he did, just stuck with me, and I probably heard that one a lot in my head. But as an entire song, definitely, I'm gonna have to go with Harry Belafonte, and this also came from a movie. For me, my introduction was through a movie, through Beetlejuice.
Shake Sonora? What is it called?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember what was the proper title of it. But that, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the proper title, but that was one as a kid for me. Like,
okay.
So yeah. Were you happy when they made the Beetlejuice Dimensions?
Yes, absolutely. Oh man, so much good stuff came out of Dimensions. At least just with the figures, it was such a sad thing that they're just so late with it and weren't able.
Were you a fan of the game? The gameplay?
The game was okay. I think it was a little bit better than I think it was a little bit better than I expected. But after a while, it came to a point where you would have a core set of figures that, this one does these things that you need. This one does these things. So it didn't really come down to how do you want to play? What is your play style sort of thing? It was like, what exact things do you need to unlock the most important parts or the most interesting things for you on all the levels, and then you just play that core set through. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. I wish that they had more ability to customize the characters, even if it did require unlocking over time. Like, let me put the grappling ability into this character over here that typically doesn't have it, and be able to use the vehicles, the accessories that I want rather than the ones that I need.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Mine, it just wouldn't work on my Wii U. I would play it, and then it would just start randomly crashing. So that was great. Then again, it was the Wii U version. Yeah, it was just like... It's like, anytime I would get far in a level, I would go back, so I just had to stop playing it. So, but, yeah. Well, he also asked current song. You got a current song that's your favorite?
Currently? I really haven't listened to a lot of modern music, to be honest with you. Most of what I listen to when I'm just building on my own or something is stuff from the 90s or early 2000s. I just put on radio that's like related to stuff that you've liked, and then just let it go.
I see. Oh yeah, Spotify has that. But anyways, I think that's it. Where can people find you on the YouTubes?
I think if you search for like JANG or JANGBRiCKS, you probably find it. Yeah. So that's my main channel is called JANGBRiCKS, JANG-BRiCKS, and from there on the main page there's also a link to my other major channels that I run presently, which includes my city specific channel that finally got spun off just last year. So anything related to custom builds and my full room sized Lego city goes on over there. And then I also have a pure builds channel, which is in a unique space, no white void, just more of a natural space, no talking, no music in the background, just really concentrated sound, really close to the pieces. A lot of people like to put that on while they're just studying or something. You just hear the pieces, Lego pieces being put together in real time. And then I also use that footage with some editing, sped up, with some music matched to it as well. I have a separate channel for speed builds. And then there are some other little ones, little spin-off things as well. But those are the main ones.
There you go. Oh my gosh, I forgot to ask. I'm sorry. I have one more question. All right. What is your experience with Nintendo?
I don't have much. I wasn't raised as a Nintendo kid. I was a Commodore 64 kid. So
Ooh.
yeah, so Nintendo Sega? To me, I loved the Sega commercials. Sega, Sega. But yeah, I pretty much went from Commodore 64 to straight into PCs. First PC was a Intel 8088 based XT clone. It was I think a 4.8 megahertz, not gigahertz. Current computers are gigahertz, 4.8 megahertz single chip, and I actually had, it was kind of combining different things from my parents from before, hand-me-down stuff. I had a 1 megabyte expanded RAM board. It was about this big.
Oh my gosh.
It had like 64 chips on it, individual chips, each one with some number of kilobytes of storage. So 1 megabyte, and I was able to load WordPerfect high into that card just from there. So yeah, Nintendo.
Interesting. Have you had any experience with Nintendo? Like one Nintendo game that like connected with you?
Wii Sports. We played at PayPal. We played tennis regularly on breaks. That was great.
That is a classic.
That was great.
That is a classic at this point. Yeah. There you go. Oh, I should have asked more video game questions. Dang it. Yeah. So I guess you went from what? So Commodore and all that, and then PC to. Don't you have an Xbox now, or am I wrong in that?
Yeah. Actually, before Xbox, I did mess around with the PlayStation 3. So my first modern console was a PlayStation 3, and then I switched over to Xbox. More friends were playing with Xbox, so Xbox. My first Xbox was the Halo Special Edition 360 that had the expanded hard drive to go with it, and had the special color scheme and everything. And
Nice.
Today I play Xbox One.
Oh, I see. So you haven't gotten the new Xbox Series, whatever.
No, only scalpers have gotten those.
I'm kind of right. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Okay, I got some video game questions in. But anyways, thanks to Bloodlow for letting me use his track Black Sheep for the second season. That's Bloodlow, Bludlo, and you could find me on YouTube, Just2Good, if you're seeing this somewhere else. And there's a discussion thread where you could vote for guests on the Just2Good subreddit if you want to look for upcoming podcast guests. But anyways, Jang, thank you so much for sticking with me this whole time and coming on to be interviewed.
Thanks for the invite.
Of course. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Right on.